So the first color I'm going to show you guys today is called Sittin Pretty, and this is the first of actually 13 colors that I'm going to show you guys today because this is my last Essie video. I have 13 colors left in my Essie collection, and then I think I'm actually going to do Orly next because that got quite a few votes, and then I'll do Color Club and then Julep. So yeah, this is Sittin Pretty, and this is a light purple which has a warmer base and has a very, very glossy finish. And this is like the brighter version, or I guess brighter and slightly warmer version of Lilacism, so it's not at all similar, but it's a very pretty nonetheless. This is a really nice like summer purple. Yeah, and that's what it looks like in the first coat. It's got a slightly sheer, again, glassy finish, and it builds pretty well on itself. So that's the first coat. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Sittin Pretty, and this gets pretty much fully opaque in 2 coats, especially if you do a slightly thicker second coat. And you can see how nice and bright and like summery of a purple it is in that second coat. And you can actually see how glossy it gets in that second coat. So yeah, this is the second coat of Sittin Pretty. So this is what Sittin Pretty looks like up close, and this one I am going to destash because I kept Do You Lilac It from OPI and I just feel like they're a little bit too similar. So this one is going to get destashed. The next color I have to show you is called Velvet Voyeur, and this is an older color. This was, I think, like a 2010 color. And this is a really dark sort of raisin type of purple in a cream finish, and there's like so much lint stuck to my finger. Like most dark colors, it's actually pretty dark in the first coat, and in that first coat you can actually see just what type of tone of a color it is. When you do layer it, it does get to be very, very dark, so it's kind of hard to tell what it is besides like being just a dark purple on your nails. But yeah, that's what it looks like in the first coat. This has definitely more of a creamy finish than like a glassy finish. So yeah, that's the first coat of Velvet Voyeur. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Velvet Voyeur, and this does get fully opaque in 2 coats. It does have a pretty shiny finish, but I mentioned like the glassy finish thing because I just feel like within the cream polish like sector, I guess, there's like regular creams and then there's creams that are like really glassy, and they're not totally transparent like a jelly is, but they have almost a slight translucence to them to make them super glassy. So that's what I mean by like glassy versus just regular cream. This is just like a regular cream, so it does dry pretty glossy, but it's not as glossy as some other creams can be. So that's what it looks like in 2 coats. So this is what Velvet Voyeur looks like up close. I think I'm going to destash this one as well because I have a lot of darks, and I just feel like Lincoln Park After Dark again is one that I would pull for more often than any other dark. So this one I am going to destash. The next color that I have to show you guys is called Bahama Mama, and this one is totally one that I bought because everyone on YouTube was like, it's amazing. This is when like everyone got super into Essie, like Ingrid and Allison and like Elle, and like literally everyone suddenly was like, Essie's amazing. And I just felt like, again, looking back on it, I just feel like obviously there's a reason. It's because they were either asked to review the company or, you know, were sponsored by Essie or whatever. Maybe not sponsored, but just like, you know, we're partners with Essie for a while. But this is one that I just feel like everyone was super crazy about because it's like a fall jewel toned plummy color. It's not necessarily entirely a unique color, nor is it an incredibly amazing nail polish. I just remember everyone talked about it, so I totally bought it for the same reason. And yeah, that's what it looks like in the first coat. It's actually a decent color in the first coat. It's like a really dark magenta color, and then it builds up to be a darker sort of wine-toned plum color. So yeah, that's the first coat. I'm going to go now with the second coat of Bahama Mama, and this gets fully opaque in 2 coats. I feel like this is actually very, very similar in color to Skyfall by OPI. If not Skyfall, then one of the colors in the Skyfall collection. It came out at a similar time, and I just feel like these colors were, I mean, they're always very popular in the fall, but particularly that fall around that time, like either a year before or a year after, a lot of companies made this sort of color. It is very pretty. It's, again, it's sort of one of those fall staples in terms of colors that pretty much every brand has. So yeah, it's not entirely unique, but it is pretty. So that is 2 coats of Bahama Mama. So this is what Bahama Mama looks like up close. I am going to destash this one just because, again, I have so many colors like this and it's not like it's particularly unique in my collection. So this is going to get destashed. The next color is called Splash of Grenadine, and this one also came from the resort collection that Lapis of Luxury and Turquoise and Case Ghost came from. This has the same finish, but it is a pinky color. So it's a, like, I don't know, I wouldn't really necessarily call it like a fuchsia, but it is a slightly purple toned pink that's sort of like mid-tone. So it's not pastel and it's not quite a dark either. It's not necessarily one that I would call bright either, because there is a little bit of a like soft feel to it. So that is what the first coat looks like. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Splash of Grenadine, and this gets fully opaque in 2 coats, and this is actually one of my favorite pinks. I tend to like tones of pink that are similar to this, that are a little bit more on the purple side on my skin tone, so I have a couple of shades that are similar to this, but I do kind of wear them equally because this is just kind of like the shade of pink that I like. So yeah, that is 2 coats of Splash of Grenadine. So this is what it looks like up close. I am going to keep this one. Again, it's one that I do quite use often. And so yeah, this is going to stay in my stash. The next color I have to show you is called Taboo, and this is a little bit brighter and a little bit like more neon. It's not entirely neon, but it's like slightly more neon than Splash of Grenadine was. It is a little bit more pink as well. And this one I actually saw at CVS a couple years ago. I was like walking by and then was actually on my way to cash out or check out, and then I saw this on the Essie stand and I thought that's super pretty and I thought I had to have it. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It's actually fairly opaque in the first coat, where here I can show you on this finger. If you do a thicker coat, it's actually fully opaque. So yeah, it was kind of a surprise when I actually put this on for the first time that it would be fully opaque in one coat. I generally don't expect that of Essie, actually, and I don't really expect it of these sort of textures, or I guess finishes of pink either. So that is the 1 coat of Taboo. So this is what it looks like up close. I am going to keep this one for now to see how much I do wear it for probably the next couple of months, and then see whether or not I want to destash it from there. The next color I have to show you is called Merino Cool, and this one is actually one of the very first Essies I bought as well. This is another one that I saw on a blog somewhere, and I just was like, that's the coolest color. It's one of those very, very chic, fashionable sort of gray, brown colors. Grayish, I guess, is the term for it, and it has a cream finish, and yeah, it's very, very pretty. It's kind of like Metro Chic by Sephora by OPI, but less purple, so it's like a little bit lighter and more gray than You Don't Know Jacques, for example, by OPI. So yeah, that's the first coat. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Merino Cool, and this gets actually fully opaque in 2 coats, and the brown and gray tones come out a little bit more than any sort of slight purple tones that it may have. Like some of these tones of colors have sort of like a lavender hue to them. This one definitely loses it once you layer it up. So that is the second coat of Merino Cool. So this is what it looks like up close. I think I am going to destash this one because I kept You Don't Know Jacques, and I know when I get to swatching OPI's Metro Chic, or Sephora by OPI's Metro Chic, I'm probably going to keep that one as well. So this one is going to get destashed. The next color I have to show you guys is called Angora Cardi, and this is also a very early on purchase for me. This one I picked up because I think it was on Scrangy, and this is like the first one that I saw that was sort of that, again, very chic fall color, but in a sort of dusty rose pink tone, and I just fell in love with it. It's been a go-to fall color for me for years. I always wear this at least once or twice in the fall, and I just love it. I just love that muted rose tone with just a tiny, tiny hint of like a berry to it. In the first coat, it is actually very, very easy to work with. It's very, very creamy, and it builds upon itself really nicely. So that's the first coat. In the second coat, it gets fully opaque, and you can see that it gets just a little bit more saturated. Sorry, I was like concentrating in that second coat. It also gets a little bit darker, and it's very, very, very creamy and very easy to use. So that is 2 coats of Angora Cardi. So this is what it looks like up close. I love this color. I'm definitely going to keep it. It's a pretty good neutral too if you want something a little bit darker, if you have a work environment that doesn't, you know, that requires not flashy nail polish, then this is a really good one if you want something a little bit darker on your nails. So yeah, that is Angora Cardi, and I am going to keep this one. The next color I have to show you is called Ladylike, and this one I also purchased because this was one I think Ingrid had talked about a couple of times, and then she layered like a pale pink glitter on top, and it was beautiful, and I just really liked the way that the color combo looked, so I did pick this one because of her. This is a really neutral, slightly pink toned beige color. I think the pink tone makes it a little bit easier for me to wear. It is less putty toned than OPI's Tickle My Francie. And yeah, it just has that slight pink mauve tone to it, which makes it a bit easier for me to wear. So that is why I bought it. And then I do layer the occasional glitter on this once in a while. I don't wear glitter all that often anymore, but this is a really good one to pair for purposes like that as well. And it's actually very, very flattering. You can see in the first coat that it just kind of gives your nails sort of a wash of neutral color so that it just looks clean and healthy, and then when you build it up it does look very like opaque on the nail. My index finger is almost dry, so I may as well just show you on camera what the second coat looks like right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with the second coat, and you can see that it does get fully opaque in 2 coats, and the color gets a little bit more pink, and just, it's very, very pretty. So that is what Ladylike looks like. This is what it looks like up close. It's really pretty, really neutral. This is a good one for people, again, that are looking for something that's really work appropriate and really easy to wear. This one I am gonna keep. It is a neutral that I use quite often. I'm gonna see how much I use it compared to my other neutrals though, and at the end of this series, I'm gonna see kind of where it lies in, you know, how much use I get. So this is Ladylike, and for now it's gonna stay in my stash. The next color is called Watermelon. This is a really nice bright pink color. It's probably the only, actually, yeah, it is like the only bright pinks that I own from Essie because I'm looking at all my other pinks. This one I bought because I saw it on the Essie display one day, and I was like, well, that's really pretty, and I think it was like springtime, and I just felt like something bright, so this one came home with me. I do really like it. It's got quite a red tulip type of tone to it. So although it is a pink, it's very red of a pink, and it's pretty opaque in the first coat, and it dries very glossy, and it applies really well on top of itself, so it's pretty easy to use. You can see there that it's like it's got pretty full coverage. So if I did a second coat, it would get fully opaque after the second coat. Again, I'll just show you what it looks like because my index finger is basically dry at this point. So yeah, you can see that it is fully opaque in 2 coats. So this is Watermelon up close. I think I am going to destash this one. I kept some pinks from OPI that I use quite often, and as much as I like this one, I don't use it as much as I want to in order to keep it. So this is going to get destashed. The next color I have to show you is called Fiji, and this is a color that I actually purchased again because of Ingrid. She said that this was like her favorite light pink, so I picked this one up, and I don't wear it very often, I have to tell you. This is a very, very chalky, milky pastel light pink color, and it behaves like most pastels in that it's pretty thin and like streaky to begin with, and then it takes a couple of coats to build up. So that is what the first coat of Fiji looks like. I'm going to go now with the second coat of Fiji, and this does build up the color quite a bit. It makes it look obviously much more pinky instead of just like a sheer like white coat on my nail. It is still a little bit streaky, so I am going to do a third coat. So that's what the second coat of Fiji looks like. I'm going to go now with the third coat of Fiji, and this gets fully opaque in 3 coats. This is definitely one of those colors that very specific groups of people are really gonna like. The people that love baby pinks, or I guess have to wear baby pinks, or like bridal color lovers, this is definitely one of those colors. This is not necessarily a color that I particularly love, and I just like don't wear very often, so it's not one that I'm crazy about, but it is, I mean, it is pretty, and I think it does have a function in a lot of people's collections, because if you want one of these types of colors, I would say just get one bottle. You don't need to get multiple of these. So that's what Fiji looks like. So this is what Fiji looks like up close. I'm not going to keep this one. Again, I'm not too crazy about it, and I don't wear it very often, so this is going to get destashed. So these are the next 3 colors. These are actually the last 3 colors that I have to show you from Essie, and I'm actually going to show you this to them all at the same time on 3 different fingers, because they are very, very similar, and they serve different purposes to me. This one is Mademoiselle, this one is Vanity Fairest, and this one is Ballet Slippers. I'm going to show you guys Mademoiselle on my index finger, and Mademoiselle is a very, very sheer, basically bridal pink in a jelly formula. And this one I keep around because I like to use it as just like a palette cleanser for my nails. Because it has a jelly formula, it goes on basically completely translucent, especially because it is that sort of skin tone color. But this is what I use it for. I use it just to do 1 coat on my nails, and just to give my nails a really clean jelly-like look on the nail that just a regular clear polish I feel like wouldn't give me. The next color I'm going to show you on my middle finger is called Vanity Fairest, and this is again a very sheer sort of bridal nude color, but it has a really delicate sparkle running through it. So this one I use whenever I want something sheer, but I want something just a little bit twinkly, which is very specific and sounds really stupid that I'm keeping all 3 of these, but it's because I do actually use all 3 of these very often and for very different reasons. So you can see Vanity Fairest, again, very sheer on my nails, and you can kind of see the twinkle right there, but not really at this angle. The third one is called Ballet Slippers, and Ballet Slippers is a little bit more opaque of a color. It's not as pink, and it has, again, a sheer sort of formula to it, but this one I use whenever I want something white. I don't really like white cream nails. I never really do white cream nails, and I kind of like the look of sheer white on the nails. I never really used marshmallow for that because I just felt like it looked too white, and I like the way that Ballet Slippers looks because it has the slightest pink of tint to it. So yeah, those are the reasons why I keep these ones. I will show you again the second coat of all of these. So this is Mademoiselle in the second coat, and you can see again that it just adds a little bit of a flesh toned jelly look to the nail. So this is like really 100% my like healthy nail look sort of color for me. Vanity Fairest in the second coat, it adds a little bit of color, but it does add a little bit of shimmer. So I'll show you what the shimmer looks like up close, and that is what the second coat looks like. Again, it's a very sheer wash of color, and it's this kind of stupid reason to keep all of these, but I keep them because I use them for like different moods in my life. And then this is what Ballet Slippers looks like in the third coat. Again, you can tell that it is much more white in the third coat, or the second coat, than the other 2. I actually only ever do 2 coats of Mademoiselle and 2 coats of Ballet Slippers whenever I wear both of these. I try to get Vanity Fairest as opaque as possible, so I'll go in with the third coat for you guys. And it just gives off, again, a really healthy nail look, but it also has the shimmer in it, so that's why I keep Vanity Fairest. So I'll show you guys what these look like up close in a second once these dry. So this is what it looks like up close. You guys can see the shimmer in Vanity Fairest a little bit better. I am keeping all 3 of these again, and I'm probably going to keep these over some of my OPI sheers that I kept, just because I don't need all of them, but I have actually over the last couple of years started to reach for these types of colors more. I just like the way that it looks on the nail. I used to not be that person. I used to kind of want to have color or excitement on the nail, and I just kind of have grown into colors like this. So I do actually use these a lot. These are colors that I use a lot, especially if I just need to quickly put something on my nails for just a clean, professional look. So yeah, those are Mademoiselle on my index finger, Vanity Fairest on my middle finger, and then I have Ballet Slippers on my ring finger. So this is what is left of my Essie collection. You can see I've gotten rid of pretty much half of them, and that's all that's left. This is actually what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do my Orleys. I'm going to have about 2 Orly videos, and then I have Color Club in the back, and then I'll do Julep, and then these are New Bar, and these are Sephora by OPI. I'll probably do those after I do my julep polishes. So yeah, that is the end of my Essie Swatch My Stash series. I will be doing, again, Orly next, and these are the Orleys that I have over here. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, that will totally make my day. And if you could subscribe, that would also totally make my day. And then otherwise, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys soon.